is day 8 and Lord have the mercy, it has been a day. We are in Osaka at the beautiful Hotel Canopy by Hilton. It's in a business district called the Umeda district, which is like the new glitzy, glamorous business district. And this hotel is so nice. It's very much on par with the Grand Hyatt in Tokyo and a level higher than the Hyatt Centric in Kanazawa, which, by the way, I actually liked more. I really liked that hotel for some reason. I clicked with it. I clicked with the energy. Beautiful hotel, has the magical toilet that, you know, these magic Japanese toilets are really giving ChatGPT a run for my new best friend. I'm in love with these toilets. God, I love those toilets. I'm just gonna be heartbroken when I have to leave them behind. We left Kobe at around 11:30. We took the JR Special Rapid Transit train from Kobe to Osaka. We got off at Osaka Station and it's right here, like by the Umeda area. So it was maybe like a 10-minute walk to the Canopy Hilton from the Osaka Station. Really nice, really convenient, really good on that. I have to say the JR Pass is working out. We're making our money's worth. With the JR Pass, you could also do the Osaka Loop train, which is great. And yeah, we've been using it quite a bit. We're getting our money's worth. The train ride on the JR Special Rapid line took about 25 minutes, but there was an incident, so it was a little bit more. But it should have taken 25 minutes. Normally it would if there's not an incident. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that is a euphemism for. Hopefully it's not what I think it is, but who knows. So we get here, and of course we get here like around 12:30, and I booked this through the American Express portal. I have an Amex Platinum, and they're like, oh, early check-in. I never get early check-ins ever with Amex Platinum. Like, you'd think with all the money they charge, they could actually help a brother out every now and then and give us an early check-in. And you know, the check-in person was just like, sorry, it's not available. This is the thing about Japan. Like, it doesn't matter if the room is actually ready. You're not getting a room until 3 o'clock. And when they say checkout is 11, it's 11 o'clock. They'll call you at 11 o'clock. Like, are you leaving? Because you said you were. Get out. They ask if you want a late checkout, and of course we say no because we've got things to do and it puts pressure on us to get out and get to the next destination. So, but one of the things I don't like about the gypsy traveling thing that we've been doing, because we've been hitting a lot of places, is that we arrive to the next city like at noon or like 1, and it's like they won't let us check in until 3. That's the thing about Japan. You gotta know, you gotta check in. They will not let you check in at 2:59, not at 2:50. But here I was kind of like, I kind of play the gay bitch, you know? I was like, what do you mean I don't have an early check-in? So they checked us in early. This is the first time, but I hate having to be that person. I hate having to be that bee. But, you know, sometimes you just gotta play the gay bee, and you just gotta, you know, you gotta do it delicately. You can't use it all the time. But we really needed to check in because we were going deeper into Osaka and having to come all the way back up, because this is not a convenient location to all the places you want to go and see, right? So once you go, it's like it's up north, I think. it's up in a certain direction where you have to go down into the main stuff. And so we didn't want to leave our luggage and then have to come back up, check in, and then go back down because we had things to do. So we had lunch here and it was really nice. The restaurant's really nice. And we checked in, and then by then it was like 3 o'clock, and so we were really, really late. And at this point we had to make a decision where we're going to do Osaka Castle or we're going to do Osaka Museum of History, which I'm a history buff, I love history, so I really wanted to do the History Museum, but I forgot that I had bought the tickets to Osaka Castle in advance. So we went to go see Osaka Castle, and I really regret that. Osaka Castle, you can see it from the outside. You can actually walk up to the grounds fairly close, and you can get some really great photos. But here's why I don't recommend this castle. It was filled with people. It was filled with so many people that you actually could not read the exhibition pieces that they had. They had a curated exhibition offering historical reference and how the castle was used, which I think is really impressive, but we couldn't read it. They were just literally a sea of people around, like forming a ring around all the exhibition pieces. And you gotta jostle yourself in there. And of course, it's also like 1,789 degrees in Japan right now. And there's AC, but when it's filled with like 500 people, you know, it's gonna get warm. And it's just not a pleasant experience. Okay, I got strawberry colored popcorn. I am like crisis eating, y'all, like, That's stressful. Oh, this is good. I would recommend that. So if you see this strawberry popcorn, it's called Amo. This is a keeper. Osaka Castle. My recommendation, go to Osaka Castle, just the outside. Take all the pretty pictures because it's a beautiful castle. Let's get that straight. It's gorgeous. It is gorgeous from the outside. You get some really beautiful pictures. But just across the street from the park is the Osaka Museum of History in this really ultra glass modern building. Go there. I wish that I had gone there instead, because I have a feeling it's not like this crazy house that Osaka Castle is. Also, one thing that's very frustrating is that I'm going to these places. I've included a lot of places that people have talked about on social media, and they end up being actually the least interesting places that I go to. First of all, you can't enjoy anything because there's this crush of people everywhere. Afterwards, we were racing. What I appreciate about Osaka is that their subway system is a lot more manageable than Tokyo's. You need a PhD to figure out Tokyo Station, like Tokyo subway station. You gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta do. People are like, just take the loop, just take the loop. Well, it doesn't go everywhere, first of all, okay? And you gotta make transfers. But Osaka subway station is a lot easier to figure out. So we figured it out. We hopped on this train, hopped on that train, and we got to, well, we were going to see sumo wrestling, this place called Sumo Hall. In Google Maps, it takes you to the location, but this location is like a shopping complex. And Osaka has these shopping complexes. I don't know what they are. They're like community complexes, shopping complexes. They're these little worlds unto themselves, and the maps are really difficult to find, and when you do find them, the English is like this big. It's like the size of an ant. And you're like, what does that say? And what nobody put on the directions for the Sumo Hall was the floor that it was on. It's in this shopping complex, and it's on the 8th floor. We finally figure that out. It was like The Amazing Race. Like, we had to figure out where this Sumo Hall was. It was on the 8th floor. We get to the 8th floor, but then we're like, where is it? Like, we think it's this one place, but it's not. And we asked the security guard, and we just come up to him, I'm like, sumimasen, and he's like, Sumo Hall, huh? And he just points over there and he guides us, and he was really nice. We finally get there, and honestly, that was the highlight of today, was the Sumo Hall. And the hotel. Like, it was a really nice hotel. We learned all about sumo, the art of sumo wrestling. It's more than just guys going at each other. There's like a whole spiritual purpose behind it. Kind of like the tea ceremony. Like there's this, with ancient Japanese arts, there's these beautiful spiritual, intense spiritual motivations that are behind the art and that guide the person doing the particular practice, and how they view themselves as never-ending students, because as they engage with their craft or their practice more, they learn more. But there is this spiritual undertone in so many different crafts and practices in Japan that I absolutely love. And it's the same with sumo. You learn about the history, and then they have fun and games, you know, and then they start showing you the maneuvers. They tell you what's illegal, what's not illegal. Then they do the wrestling competition, and that was fun. And then they brought some of the audience members. You can sign up if you want to participate, if you want to wrestle with them. And a couple of people got picked by random, and one was this big guy from Australia. Another one was this like woman from the Philippines, and another one was this little kid from Colorado. And it was just fun to watch, and we had a lot of fun. They gave you a bento box, and the food was halfway decent, actually. It was good. And you get a drink. I got tea, Glenn got wine. And we had a really good time. We laughed. It was fun. I liked it a lot. Since we were in that area, we were like, let's go and see the Glico Man. Is it Glico? Glica? Glica? That man. Oh my God. That whole area, crazy. It was nothing but a river of people. And I'm not exaggerating. I got the footage, I got the receipts. We get there, we take the pictures, and it all felt performative. I was like, what am I doing here? It's a cool sign. And there's so many lights everywhere, but there's also so many people, and they're all interested in getting that shot. And there's just too much. It's not how I want to travel. There's the picture. We were there, we were very close by, so in the Nihon area, I think it's called. What I'm learning about Japan is that it's actually better to go to these smaller places than to do Osaka, and I'm sure Kyoto I'm pretty much gonna find to be the same thing, because I signed up for all the things that everybody's posting on. I mean, I did sign up for, I did do some things that are not, people don't talk about, that I'm gonna talk about, but the tourist traps are so unfulfilling, and they're mostly in Osaka, Kyoto, and Tokyo. Kanazawa honestly has been the most amazing part of the trip so far. Kobe less so, but it was also nice, had its moments, right? Kobe had its moments, Himeji had its moments, those castles. But if you can find mid-sized cities like Kanazawa, they're gonna give you a Japanese experience too. Something that's a little bit more authentic and less touristy. And I think if I come back, I'm just gonna bypass all this. Because it's not fun when you go to a place in Japan and you start seeing everybody that's not Japanese. We get back, we're back, and we're here. We're debating, we have tickets to the World Expo tomorrow. We're debating whether or not to go, because it's just gonna be filled with people. And can you really enjoy something like that when you're just flooded in a sea of people? That stresses me out. If we don't go, we might go to the Osaka Museum of History and just take our time there. And maybe we'll go check out a shrine or a temple. Something a lot more mellow. Those tickets weren't cheap dates, but sometimes you gotta take an L to take a W, you know? Osaka is a huge city, massive place. Massive place, beautiful, but filled with a lot of tourists, so. First day in Osaka. Tomorrow is our second and our last, and then we're off to Kyoto, and then back to Tokyo. My husband's changing. He's like, don't hit record. But we have all these collapsible walls in this apartment, so I'm just like, go and change. So, Family Mart haul for dinner, rice ball, Fami Chiki, which is basically their version of 7-Eleven's fried chicken, boneless. It's so good at 7-Eleven, why not? For dessert, a mint chocolate tart, and also backup, custard sweet tart in the shape of a taiyaki, which is like a fish, it's like a fish-shaped pastry with custard. Japanese custard is incredible. You cannot go wrong, neither with the fried chicken. And because I'm healthy, I got potato chips, not vegetable. Oh my god, I'm eating so unhealthy, and I know I am, but I am so... When your calories don't count when you travel. We bought tickets to World Expo, but we said not to go. So happy. All the reviews I read just completely trashed it. The lines were long. It is searing hot here in Japan. It's true what people say about June, July, and August. I can only imagine what it's like in August, but June is just scorching hot. That sun will roast you to a crisp. There's Japanese chicken. So good. They also have a spicy version, but I don't do spicy. If I do spicy anything, that Japanese magic toilet won't be able to save me. I mean, I will be so in trouble. Decided not to do World Expo, and of course I need a napkin. I don't have one. God, what is it with this country and napkins? There's like never any napkins. Bring your own tissues if you come to Japan, because you'll see the napkins, if they give you a napkin, is like paper thin, and it's like toilet paper. Anyway, so we decided not to go. Instead, we went to the Osaka Museum of History, and I'm so glad we did that because that was really enjoyable. Enjoyable. Just like this chicken. I highly recommend the Osaka Museum of History. They teach you the history of Osaka, and the reason why that's important is because Osaka is so deeply wedded into the national fabric, the national story of Japan, and they help you understand that. You go to the 10th floor of this museum, and it's bone-chilling cold, which I'm just like, yes, please. It can't be cold enough as far as I'm concerned right now because it's so bloody hot. So it's really nice and cold, and the crowds are a fraction of what they are across the street at Osaka Castle. And you don't have to deal with all those people. You don't have to deal with all that heat. You don't have to try to jostle your way into one of the exhibition spaces to try to learn something. It's all manageable here. It is so good. And the exhibition is actually very good. They present it in very creative and clever ways. They start with like ancient times with a palace, and I can't remember the palace name, but they start with this palace. They give you an insight into what it would look like. They have mannequins dressed as in cultured period pieces and, the fabrics, the outfits. It gives you a really incredible insight into a window into that time, that era. And then you go down each floor, and as you go down each floor, you go down to different periods of history of Osaka, all the way down to the Industrial Revolution, like the 70s and 80s. Such a great window and insight into Osaka. Osaka reminded me a lot of like the Netherlands, Delft and The Hague, back in like the 1500s when they were going through this kind of golden era of trade. Osaka went through that too, where they got really rich off of rice commodities and trade, and their own homegrown industries, that they were able to cultivate an art scene. So they were able to cultivate kabuki, publishing, puppet theater, crafts, high-end decorative arts. They were able to kind of craft all this, and as a result, they were able to contribute, have this really outsized influence into the national identity of Japan. So many great things come from Osaka, and this museum helps articulate so much of it. People were complaining that there wasn't enough English, but I think there's plenty of English explanations. Not everything's not in English, but you get the gist. I mean, you just gotta put two and two together, you know? So it's not bad. This was excellent. I've learned to get two because one is not enough for me, so yeah, I'm a glutton. The calories don't count when you travel. We walked all over creation today, so I'm not worried about the calories at all. So after that, we took the subway, and I have to say the subway in Osaka is so much easier than the subway system in Tokyo. This is the rice ball. Oh, I didn't read the directions because I have ADHD, but this has salmon in it. Didn't see healthy. Try to eat healthy. I don't normally do fish, but I'm not going to waste this because that's wrong. It's really hard to find restaurants here. I know that there's tons of restaurants everywhere, right? But they don't all operate in ways that you think. You can't just walk in and say, hey, can you table for two, please? Today for lunch, we had a really late lunch, and we walked in like at 2:30 into this Japanese restaurant, and the woman was like, I don't know, like she just like went like, the expression on her face was like, no, be gone, you foul demons. I cast you out of this place. Like we had violated some sacred oath by coming too late. And so we walked over to this other place called Seagull Diner, which was like a Japanese style American fast food place. And we had burgers. I had the teriyaki burger. But the way that Japanese interprets American food is actually better. We had French fries, we had burger, but we also had like a little side salad and some beans. It was so good and delicious. Here's the thing you need to know about the subways. Google Maps is kind of helpful, but Google Maps provides 4 things when you input where you want to go, and it gives you the information for the subway. It gives you 4 really crucial important things. It tells you the line, the color, the platform, and the car, and the exit. You need to know what car number to go to. You need to know what exit to take. If it says take exit 3, do not take exit 2. Do not take exit 5. Do not take exit 6. You take the exit it tells you. Trust me. Because you'll end up taking, oh, here's an exit. And you just take it. It goes upstairs, or it goes into this like maze-like thing that you never get yourself out of. 30 minutes later, if you had just taken the exit it told you to take, you would have been there in like 2 minutes. That's the thing about Osaka too. Every place we go to is like a complex. And within the complex, there's all these like maze-like passages. It's crazy. We took the subway to the art museum. We're trying to get out of that station. We followed the signs that led us to the museum that said, oh, this way, this arrow to the museum. We followed the signs, but it kept taking us to the opposite end of the subway, and we found like, let's just get out of this. We were like in these catacombs and tunnels. And that's like the way it is everywhere, every station in Osaka. It was brutal. You're just like, please, I just need to get out. I don't even care where I'm getting out at this point. We finally get above ground, and we get to the museum. And of course, we have like an hour before it closes. But turns out that was plenty. They had this special exhibition. They're highlighting hidden treasures. This was older work, like from the Edo period and from pre-Edo period, Edo period, of various Japanese artists that have not been given their due. So a lot of this artwork is from that period, but it's not considered part of their national treasures list. And this museum is saying, I think we need to reconsider these pieces because they do bring something special. And so it was really nice to kind of look and see the work on display. I thought it was okay. I mean, it didn't blow me away. If I'm being honest, I'll be a little queenie. And I'll say, you know, I can see why it's not National Treasure. I mean, it's okay. A lot of it was okay, but it did feel derivative. Some of it felt derivative. Some of it felt like pastiche. You know, homages to the actual artists who are part of the National Treasures list. We got to see Astro Cat, this famous sculpture that's like the museum mascot. I don't think it's called Astro Cat. I just call it Astro Cat. White cat obviously reminds me of Malibu, and I just see white cats everywhere, and it just reminds me so much of my Malibu. And I miss my little guy. He was so sweet. God, I miss him. And we also see so much of the black cat. We didn't have a black cat. We had this black cat that was our neighbor's cat named Bagheera. He'd always come over and hang out. He was such a fun, little wild. You know, he was kind of like an angry drunk. When he'd get on catnip, he'd get really angry. We're like, you need to leave now. But other than his catnip problem, he was a lovely little cat. And I've been seeing black cats everywhere too, and I've been thinking of Bagheera. Bagheera passed away too, like a year ago. Really sad. But it's nice to see these little black cats, these little white cats everywhere. I feel like I've been single-handedly propping up the souvenir industry here by all the black cat and white cat paraphernalia that I bought. After that, we went to the section in Osaka, Amerika-mura, I think it's called. Amerika-mura. It's like this little America. And it reminds me a lot of the East Village in New York City. Like St. Mark's Place. Same vibe, everything. All the cool kids are there. They sell tons of American vintage clothing and associated streetwear, street accessories, that kind of thing. And we have other kind of stuff like American kitsch, American toys, antique Americana. And it's a really wild, fun, vibrant place to be. It feels like the East Village, but with like a Japanese cool. And so that's really nice. We were down there filming, and this artist invited us up to his apartment for a party that he's having later tonight. We're obviously not going to go because they're both very exhausted. I'm really sorry to the artist, but well, I'm here to work. I'm not here to play. Yeah. I don't know how sobriety is down here, but you know, I don't know if that cultural concept is relevant in Japan. But I don't want to offend anybody if they give me like sake or they give me something like, I'm like, man, sorry, I don't drink. So after kind of going in and out of these thrift stores, which was kind of cool. I'm an older guy, and so it's really nice to kind of be around 20-somethings in that kind of East Village phase. I had that phase. My husband had that phase. We all had that phase, I guess. It was just nice to kind of be around it. Kind of cool. There's a big statue of the Statue of Liberty on top of a roof. That was really cool too. And just the kids there are really cool. They're really sweet. They're earnest. You know, the Japanese. They're like smiling at us and we're like, hi, konnichiwa. But yeah, that was nice. That was a good little thing. I'm really happy that we did this because I feel like we got such a nice flavor of Osaka. We got a taste of Osaka, like a really good part of Osaka. What's really interesting about Amerika-mura, that neighborhood, that East Village vibe neighborhood, is you walk right up the street, across a couple streets, there's a Demaru, which is like a Saks Fifth Avenue, and like all of the associated luxury purveyors that the world knows. There's like a Marc Jacobs, there's like a Gucci. It goes like East Village low to Park Avenue, Fifth Avenue high. Like within a 1 block radius of each other. That to me is very Japan. Like Japan loves to mix high and low, and they kind of view America as low. But low culture, but a cool low culture, you know, cowboys and skaters and surfers. And then we took the subway back up here to Umeda. Umeda is very futuristic, very nice, beautiful. Lots of green lawns. There's this green lawn right in front of me. And there's tons of people laying on it, and I get it. On a bed of grass. My bones are so tired. My muscles are so tired. I've been carrying a backpack. My husband was a sweetheart. He's like, why don't we switch, but take turns holding it? I was like, God bless you. So that's our day, what is it, day 8? No, day 9. Day 9 in Japan. Tomorrow is day 10 in Kyoto. Can't wait to tell you all about that. See you later.